don't check your dial if you are someone that's in and around Michigan. It is October the 21st, but it feels like August the 21st. 75 degrees, a beautiful day in Southeast Michigan. Thanks for joining us here on the Maize and Blue Review. There's Jim Scarcelli on the screen, looking good, all ready to go out after the show. And he joins us here on this Monday. Scar, what's going on?
Yeah, you're right, Danny. Beautiful weather. Got to soak it up before you know, we ain't got so many days like this left, but big week. Preparation for Michigan State was always special. When I played, it was the only time we would go practice at the stadium. We would go up there all week and you know, Bo emphasized it. I'm sure every coach that's ever been there has emphasized it. You got to win this football game. It's huge for recruiting, and we'll have a great week. Our guys will be fired up. Focused, home, night game. Let's go.
Yeah, I love this week too. I didn't go to Michigan. I didn't go to Michigan State, but I remember getting into the business, and you would see so many people. You would think that people hate each other and would be at each other's throats. The insults, the hatred that comes out online and sports talk radio. And then I would go to this game, and, you know, 3 or 4 hours before, and all of these tailgates would be, you know, bipartisan. They'd be mixed. It would be, you know, green and white standing next to maize and blue, and everybody would be having a great time. And I was like, where are all these crazy people that are at each other's throats saying how much they hate? It's a great week. Everyone loves, you know, this backyard brawl, and, you know, for the players, you like it a lot. You like it when you win. You know, you don't like it when your shoes up.
There's nothing better than taking a bus back from East Lansing with a victory.
No.
And no, I had my best buddy's a Spartan. I played against guys at Michigan State that I know are friends of mine that are great people, great guys, great players. So, and you know, there's some guys that game was always kind of a talking game. I never got into talking much, but it was one of the only times I ever experienced it as a college football player. I ain't got time to talk. So much going on, you know, getting my make sure I'm doing everything what I got to do. But it'll be heated, and we'll be ready. And anything that's happened before this football game, it'll be wiped out. Our guys will be focused. Our coaches will have, you know, you don't have to get them ready. They understand what this game means. And we'll be ready to roll.
Yeah, you don't have the animosity that you had 2 years ago. You had the tunnel. Nobody was talking about the tunnel. There was a question today about it being a night game, and Sherrone Morris, I don't care if it's a night game. A lot of people that live and die like online, and when, you know, are always battle ready and everything, and they're always feeling like it's like a matchstick type situation. Like, I can't believe this game's going to be at night. I think that's only that there just doesn't have that. You know, the people aren't have that animosity that they had 2 years ago.
You play it, you know, all these stadiums I went to as a player, you're coming on and off the field in warm-ups together. You're coming, you know, it never ever was a problem in all my years. You're blending in off the field. After the game, you some of the guys, you go shake their hand. You know, it's crazy that happened.
Yeah, you know, nobody hates Jonathan Smith right now, the head coach at Michigan State. Nobody hates Sherrone Moore. There's nothing there that way. So, you know, it's just two teams from in-state who both want to win and get that trophy. And the thrill of victory is great, but losing that one, and for Michigan, you know, all hell would break loose if they lost this game, because then there would be a real thought that they might not even be bowl eligible. So yeah, they pretty much, you know, you can look at the rest of the games and everything else, and obviously they want to win them all, but, you know, this would be one that it looks like they're going to have a shot. They're pretty. I'm surprised that they're a 7-point favorite, and, you know, they need to win this one.
It was 5.5 this morning. I said it would be 4.5 Saturday night. And so I'm not too far off, but I think 7's a little high.
Yeah,
because they look good, Denny. Michigan State has really improved. Their quarterback, I don't know if you want to jump on them and go over some of the things I got.
Well, let's tell everybody, Scar, what we're going to do. We are going to look at the remaining schedule. I mentioned it for a second. You wanted to ask Sherrone. We got a couple questions for the head coach. He did talk today about 2 hours ago, a little over 2 hours ago. You've got some film, the award-winning film from Scar. It's educational, entertaining. That's coming up straight ahead. But yeah, why don't we start out talking about Michigan State. After Michigan lost on Saturday, you may have turned on to watch Georgia and Texas, and then we're surprised at how Georgia was handling Texas. And then equally surprising is how Michigan State was handling Iowa. How about that?
Yeah, amazing that they were able to move the ball against that defense like that. This guy's a good coach, Denny. I was not happy to see him get hired. He's real similar to the Harbaugh philosophy, man. You know, he wants to run the ball. Okay, his thing is outside zone. Michigan's was more inside zone. He does run the power, the block down gap scheme stuff that we run. But this guy's found it. Normally, Denny, former quarterbacks are the guys I wanted to face in coaching because they want to just throw it. This guy understands defense. He understands the run game. But they want to run outside zone. So that's the first play I'm putting in. If I'm coaching Michigan's defense, we got to stop the outside zone. And we got to have discipline in our rush lanes. This is the kind of team. Denny, this kid's elusive. He's athletic. And we got 300-pound guys rushing on a big dude. It's hard to two-gap those guys, but you got to try to keep him inside the pocket because he's a good thrower, but average thrower. He'll throw one to us. That's the thing about this kid. He had his best game against Iowa. He will make mistakes. Every game he's made mistakes. You hope he has a couple of those against us, but they want to run the ball. They're physical, mobile QB, outside zone. Maintain your rush lanes is huge, stopping them. Okay, now moving the ball. Their defensive coach is good. He's been around the Big Ten. They're all over the place. Schematically, they do a lot of different things. You can't really get a beat on them. They don't have the greatest players on defense, but I think they're very well coached. A lot of exotic stunts, and they're going to overload against our run game, Danny. They're going to force, number one to beat us. They're going to hammer on Loveland. They're going to cover Loveland, and they're going to load up on stopping our run game. But, they do have a kicker too, who's a hell of a kicker. But that's what I got on them. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think he nailed it. Sherrone Moore was asked about containing Childs today, and he said what you had to say. Got to do a great job with your rush lanes. He said that's going to be stressed and something that they talk about. And I watched Childs against Iowa, watched him in a few other games. He's just a playmaker. Yeah, he makes some ill-advised throws, and he'll turn it over. But, man, you watch some of his highlights, and you see a guy that if he is ever able to, stay away from that, I mean, he can be one of the better playmakers in all of football. I mean, that's
he's like Lamar Jackson or some of these real fast athletic. You run the RPO at him, and you've got you've got TJ Guy or Big Moore, an edge player responsible for him on the RPO. And guess what? The kid's athletic. He might be right there ready to make the play, but he's not going to tackle him. So that's the problem with that type of kid. He's very athletic. And then the problem with maintaining rush lanes is you don't normally get pressure because you're more bull rushing. You follow me, Denny? You're trying to two-gap guys, so your inside guys could come off either way when he steps up in the pocket. And again, the downside is you don't get the pressure from those guys who are trying to two-gap pass rush.
All right, Scar, you mentioned the remaining schedule. And after Michigan State, it's Oregon, then at Indiana, Northwestern, and Ohio State. Indiana, very impressive at home this week, although they lost their quarterback, Rourke. He is not going to play this week against Washington, so who knows what his status is going to be moving forward. But they had a very good win over the weekend against Nebraska where they blew them off the field.
Yeah, Denny, this guy you talk about, it can be done a lot easier and quicker now in college football. You get the right guy with the right plan. If you got a couple dollars in your pocket, I mean, this guy just has a totally complete different roster. He went out and got the right quarterback. I mean, he's a hell of a coach. All he's ever done is win. Everywhere he's been, he's won. He's proven at 3 different spots before he came to Indiana. In fact, Denny, I'm going to start something. I don't know if I'm going to do it every week, but I'm just calling it my man of the week.
Man of the week.
Here's my man of the week. It's the Indiana athletic director, Scott Dolson. He's the guy that hired Cignetti. Why is Scott Dolson my man of the week? Because a lot of people would say, why would you hire some guy from James Madison University? Who is he? He hasn't coached in the Big Ten. What does he know about coaching big-time football? Okay? This guy's like Jim Tressel. This Indiana coach is like Jim Tressel. He was a winner at Youngstown State. This guy's been a winner 3 different places. So that's my man of the week, the athletic director at Indiana, for having the sense to go get a proven winner, Cignetti. So the rest of the schedule, you know, we got to get mentally, every game we got to get mentally ready, but that's not going to be a problem. There's nothing on our schedule that, you know, we can take lightly. There's absolutely no lit downs, and we got enough competition for playing time. We'll be ready to go every week. Oregon is now playing. I mean, what are they? Are they the number 1 ranked team in the country now? I think they are. Yeah.
Yes.
So they're going to come in number 1 ranked. They're playing like it. The guy's a hell of a coach, quarterback. Indiana, then we follow with them. We go there. That'll be sold out. That place will be sold out. And I don't know who they got this week, but if they're going to get knocked off before, they don't play Ohio State till the last game of the year. So, or not last game, but I think they play them right after us.
Indiana plays Washington this week.
Yeah, so that's a game. But I'll give that Cignetti credit. His backup quarterback did a good job. He looked like he knew what the hell he was doing. You know, then again, that's a sign of leadership. You go get 2 of them that you can plug the second guy in, and the kid did pretty darn good. So, again, and Northwestern is, you know, we can't screw around. Wisconsin, 23-3. Northwestern will play defense, but, you know, they're a capable team. They could be a problem. So, that's where we're at the rest of the year. Let's just keep getting better. One thing we're doing, Denny, is we're playing a lot of guys. The thing I see him doing on defense is playing a lot of bodies. Part of that is already understanding and accepting the fact that it's probably not going to happen this year, winning a Big Ten championship. But you want to. I know as a coach, you want to always develop guys, but when there comes a point in the year where you're like, okay, I'm going to really start playing some of these young guys.
Yeah, they played Mason Curtis and Josiah Edmond this past week, and those guys got good grades. And you got Mason, who's a 6'3" safety, big rangy guy. I think he was the first guy to commit to the 24 class when he was out there this week.
Okay.
You wanted to ask Sherrone Moore.
Yeah, Denny, these are 3 questions I'd want to ask Sherrone Moore.
All right, for just everyone, you know, if Sherrone has already spoke, so you won't get a chance to ask him these questions. You have an opportunity on Mondays to go down there and ask him some questions. These are the ones that you would have asked. Let's see if the assembled media there asked your questions.
Maybe you can help me out. Okay, the first question I have is, whose offense is it? Who has the final say in the structure, the philosophy, the system, the brand? Whose is it? Does Matt Campbell, does he own the offense, or is it a collaboration in terms of tight ends, fullbacks, doing what we do? I want to know that question. Whose system is it? Who has the final say on what we do offensively?
Yeah, I think Sherrone would say that, yeah, this is a collaboration, but I'm the head coach and something that we worked on and it's a continuation of what we've been doing. I think that's how he would answer it.
So okay, so he would accept responsibility that what we do, the buck stops with him. He's responsible because Denny, when I was a head coach, I didn't call plays. I had my 2 top offensive guys, but there was no play that went in, no shift, no motion, nothing went in without my approval. We discussed everything, every single play. I would go over with my 2 guys, and it's probably the same kind of thing. Sherrone goes over offensively with probably the whole staff. You get a lot from your defensive guys. What gives you trouble? You know what I mean? So, okay, so that's the question, the way you believe that question would be answered. Here's my next question.
All right.
Who has final say on the game plan? So, like last year, we came out with 7 offensive linemen against Penn State. Who gets credit for that? Who was responsible for that? I want to know which. So, this is a question I want you to ask him next Monday. Who has the final say on what the game plan is for Michigan State? What are we doing? How are we going to block their front? What do we have different for them? What do we believe we can beat them with? Where are they weak at? Who has the final say? How do you think you would answer that question?
I think he would say it's a team effort. We work on that. We game plan, but I have the final say. I'm the head coach, just like the same thing with the first question.
Okay, because I used to coach with a guy, Danny. He would see things on Monday night. I was an assistant. This guy would see things on Monday Night Football, and he'd put them in. And the kids would be all screwed up. Anyway, that's the last question I have.
I would think that every head coach, that he has picked his coaches. He's going to give them a lot of latitude to say anything and put anything in you want, but and work on the game plan. But then ultimately, the head coach is responsible for everything. He's the one that's got to rubber stamp it at the end. So yeah, I think every coach would say that, and I think Sherrone Moore wouldn't be any different.
Okay, and then I guess the last question is, who's calling plays? Is it a collaboration? Jim called it a collaboration.
Kirk Campbell calls the plays.
Okay, so he has 0 input from everybody else.
Oh, I don't know. I would say that, he has input from everyone on the offensive side and maybe, like you said, on the defensive side. But ultimately, when you get out there, you got one play caller. I don't think anybody believed Jim Harbaugh when he talked.
I do. I believe him. I do believe he had a collaboration.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. It makes a lot of sense, Danny. If I'm on the headsets with you, and I'm the quarterback offense coordinator, and you're my offensive line coach, we're going to talk.
Yeah, that's
we're going
right.
to talk through the whole game, and,
right.
You're going to tell. I'm going to have faith in you, and you're going to tell me, "Hey, Scar, this kid 47 they put in there, we're going to run at him. We can trap him. We can double team him. When he goes in, he's in the game. Or Scar, I think they're doing this when we're in this formation, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No. That's somebody giving advice to the guy that's like, if in this case Kirk Campbell, if it was a situation where Grant Newsome said, "Yeah, we really see something here," Kirk Campbell could say, "Okay, well then I'll take that advice. Here's the play." But what Jim Harbaugh said he was doing is that he would have one play, he would have Kirk Campbell calling it, and then on the next play, he's going to have Grant Newsome calling it. And I don't believe that. I don't think anybody really believed.
I don't remember him saying that he would rotate first down, second down.
He wasn't saying exactly. He said it was a collaboration. He said he said he had dual offensive coordinators and dual defensive coordinators. And you can only have one person ultimately has to make the decision. So nobody believed him when he was saying that. But it was nice to have the title as a co-offensive coordinator, and it looks good on the resume. And so those things, I think that's why he did it. But in the end, if you think it through, just with the operation, there's no way that he was doing that. So.
Okay, well, I just know how it goes with. I know my guys are on the headsets and they have respect for each other.
Sure.
And they put the system in because all 3 of those I can say we all talked about together. The system, what we believed in, the game plan, what we believed in, and then the play calling. My 2 guys, that was their thing. They discussed everything and had respect for each other. And anyway, I just wanted to get an answer to those questions. Who calls the plays? I want to know where the buck stops, period. Campbell
and the head coach. It's like
hang on. That's a little different there. You just gave me 2 names. Is it where's the buck stop?
Well, the buck always stops with the head coach.
Okay, so that's what I want to know. Is he calling any plays? Is he part of the collaboration? That's the question I want to know. Is he part of the collaboration play calling? Or is it?
He would say, like, this is the way it went with Harbaugh. He gave his.
You just said there was one guy. So it is.
Well, there is one guy, but when it comes down to, I'll just say this: in specific instances, like if you're on your own 35 and it's 4th and 1, and my offensive coordinator says, "Yeah, we're going to go for it," the head coach always can come on.
Oh, yeah, those are different decisions. That's a different. Right. That's not a play call. That's a.
So it's all Kirk Campbell until it comes down to: are we going for 2? Or are we going for it on 4th?
Those are head coaching decisions. Those, like having our punt return team on the 50-yard line. That's a head coach decision. Yeah. That's not a special team decision or the defensive coordinator decision. That's a head coach. In my opinion, I know that would have been my decision as a head coach. Yeah. Because I've been in. Yeah. Anyway, those are questions I'd like to get answered as far as that goes, and. I just think before we get into the film, I just think that we're not winning a Big Ten championship this year. I think we need to. Obviously, if I was coaching, I would never say that anywhere around Ann Arbor. But I'm just keeping it real. So we need to really, really. We got 5 games left. Obviously, we want to win every one and make the play. And make a bowl game. But we really have to do a great job evaluating potential transfers because we're going to have a whole new team next year. There's a lot of positions. That defense is going to be – there's a lot of guys leaving. So I'm just thinking about where we are as a program that we better be watching and knowing exactly what's going on. And as soon as that portal thing opens up, we are in the starting blocks, ready to get the best quarterback available, the best edge guys available, and all these guys that are potential transfers. And we better have a pocketbook for our coach so he can go out and get these guys, fill these spots. Because we got a lot of great players coming back, especially I think our offensive line has got a lot of good players coming back. But I just want to voice that out, that I think the next, 2.5 months till that day starts, that transfer portal early December, man, we got to be swinging. And we got to be ruthless, Denny. We got to be ruthless. We can't let Oregon go get the best kid before we do, or Miami get the best guy before us, or these other clowns. We got to be ahead of the game, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll just say 2 things. One, they have a general manager in Sean McGee, and that's his job. I don't know I don't think he does anything that has to do with an upcoming game or an upcoming schedule. The general managers with everything about, I would think that they would already be working on, targets or potential targets, with guys that are not quite, whether it's a group of 5 or teams that are in the lower divisions that they could target that they would want to be going after. They probably already have a pretty good idea. The second half of that is something that we just don't know about. Michigan got to this spot with a philosophy overall of saying, we are not going after the premium players. The premium players want premium dollars, and that doesn't fit our profile. We want guys that do not want the most money, that are willing to accept less and want to play for Michigan.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Danny. How much do you think the Maryland linebacker got to come to Ann Arbor? You think he just came there for the great degree and he wanted to play for Michigan? What do you think? Why do you think he came to Michigan? That kid could have gone anywhere.
He could. I think that he saw playing time, which is a pretty big deal. And I also think that whatever the offer was, along with the school and the playing time and an opportunity to win, I think some of that, I don't think that J-Sean Barham was just going to the highest bidder. And then look, I don't know for sure, but Michigan, they might target a player or 2. They might even do that in recruiting in high school now. And maybe they'll change their philosophy. Maybe they'll say, we are going to fatten up the bankroll and we're targeting all the top guys and we're we're opening up the purse strings and we're going after these guys and there are going to be more. Maybe they'll do that. They have not done that.
Well, I believe he was compensated. I believe he was
Oh,
compensated.
I agree with that.
Competitive way.
Here's the thing for sure, Scar. They definitely, when it came to, I think their philosophy, just as me looking at it, their philosophy about paying players was different from paying guys that were going to transfer than guys that are in high school. The guys that were in high school, they were not looking for the top guys because they did not want to pay for them. I do believe.
I understand that. I totally respect
they were ready.
that.
I think that they had the distinction before that they felt like it was dirty, or I don't know, like that they felt like it was against the rules, or it wasn't. But they didn't feel like that when it came down to players that were already in college. There was a separation there. But I think you can just see that from the players that they targeted, each in prospects that were in high school and then prospects that were already playing.
Okay, we don't know the answer to that question. How much he got to leave Maryland, and did Ohio State?
They were paying for transfers, but they were not paying for.
I know that. I understand that, but so I think maybe we were just as competitive for a proven player in.
I think you're right about that. I think you're
okay. That's what I mean. So we just, it's not like we were leaving our coach, with empty pockets trying to compete with Oregon and Ohio State to transfers.
Transfer portal. I think you're right about that.
Point that out.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ready for the film, Denny? Unless you have anything else.
Well, I do. I've got two other things that I wanted to say, and one of those has to do with what we do here, and that is we are a part of Rivals, and we are working for the Maize and Blue Review, and part of the Maize and Blue Review, you go online and you're a member of a community and you can talk about Michigan all day and all night. And then you have a chance to get the inside scoop and the stories and the features on every Michigan football player, every Michigan football story. And then the same thing with basketball. Recruiting, Dusty May is on fire. If you've been paying attention to what's going on the recruiting trail for basketball, you can get full access for that right now by going to michigan.rivals.com, and we would love to see you over there. I also would like to say that your forthcoming video analysis is brought to you by Quick Cut Video and Analytics. It's your place to store, share, and analyze film. And with that, we are ready to take a look at the old galloping ghosts out there. You're talking about 83. When was the galloping ghost? He worked selling ice blocks in the off season, and then the old Red Grange was over there scoring 6 touchdowns against Michigan back in the day, right?
Yeah, Denny, I got one more thing on my notes. Our quarterback for next year is not on our roster. I said that last year. Everybody thought I was crazy, and I thought someone was going to prove me wrong. But anyway, that's that. Yeah, Denny, me and my brother played against each other. It was for the Big Ten. It ended up being the game for the Big Ten championship back in '83. They had a real good football team. Mike White came in there and built it back up. It was a sold-out game, just like it is here. It was loud. It was one of the loudest games I ever played in, and not a good memory back then, and not a good memory Saturday. So, but winning fills seats. When
Jeff George, the quarterback, or
no, what the hell was his name? Trudeau.
Oh, Jack Trudeau.
The Brewster was the tight end. The guy, he was a longtime coach.
Tim.
Yeah, but Denny, when Bielema got the job, there was a lot of empty seats, man. Bielema was a damn good coach, and I knew we would have trouble because it's right in his wheelhouse to defend our offense. I mean, he's a Wisconsin guy. He understands the power of offensive run game. So, I mean, I just knew going in. I said it last week. This guy, we ain't putting 50 on him like Purdue. It's a whole nother deal. So we started out in nickel against them, and number 8 is in the game. He was out last. He was hurt. He's playing, but I don't think he was playing I think he might have been still be a little banged up. He just didn't look as good as he's been. But that's that. So they make this first down, but they were not pushing us around at all. Need the pass threat. Good play. Let's see. So this is when, this is the things you can do when you got a quarterback that can throw. And this is tough. This is the kind of stuff against Michigan State too. This is a draw, but you have to, they're so good at throwing the football. You end up honoring this. You're rushing because it looks like it's a pass and then it's a draw. And then you got the tight end leading through like a isolation play, and it's a good play. And it's tough to defend, but it's tough to defend when you have a pass game. Those plays, you look at little things, Danny, why Michigan can't run some of that stuff as effectively because they don't honor your pass game as much. Here's a unique formation. They got 4 guys over here, 1 over here. It's 3rd and 3. What's the weakness? What's the thing you got to really worry about here? It's this big empty gap here. Normally they put their best receiver here, Danny. That's what teams will do. This is the run threat side over here. They'll throw it out here. You got bubble and screens and all that kind of stuff. And if you don't match up right, they'll throw it out here and get an extra blocker to pick up the easy 3 yards. But Michigan chose this adjustment, and but it's tough to defend. You got all that field there. And anyway, he gets a bad throw and a little high, and he drops the ball. But this is a good stop. And that's just want to point out some of the formations and some of the things. But we get them stopped here, which is, good. This team scores points, man. So they put 50 on Purdue. This is a well-executed play. I think Crippen's playing good football. Our center's playing pretty good. We block this. We execute it. I mean, that's Michigan football. That is a beautiful executed play. We know what we're doing a lot of, Danny.
What?
Is we're doing a lot of zero here. This is Sandstrom. I think it's Sandstrom. It's either him or another. We're doing a lot of it with receivers, a lot of it with Sandstrom. So they're having him run around back here, pre-snap. You know what I mean? And you don't know where he's going to end up.
You mean Morgan?
Yeah, that's Morgan there, yeah. So, you see how he's doing all this stuff? They're doing a lot of that pre-snap. Well, it helps you identify the coverage, but it gives you there's something you can learn from it. So I kind of like it. It widens out the defense. This guy's out of position. He's going with Morgan, but that's a well-executed play. Percy started the game. Gentry started the game. Does anybody know what's going on with Hinton?
Hinton today, he said his trajectory is good for this Saturday, but he also has mentioned about a good trajectory in previous weeks. So he seemed a little more confident in Hinton playing than Will Johnson playing, for whatever that's worth, for folks that are trying to figure that out. So I'd put him as probable, and I would put Will Johnson today, from what I heard from the coach, as questionable for the game Saturday.
These are just little things that just, you got to know where I go to their practices. They've got the yard markers. They understand what the down and distance is. I mean, what's the point of this? Why are you going to run this route short? It's just frustrating. If you're going to, push off the line, get separate, get to the sticks. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyway, Grant played a lot. You got Pierce playing a lot. They're rotating guys, Danny. They're getting ready. Here's our base package against 2 tight ends with Illinois. So they're part of this is depth, but part of it is they're getting ready for next year. That's what coaches are always thinking. Getting guys reps. Who you don't see play is Eno Etta.
He was
that's not good.
He was on the injury report for this game.
Oh, was he?
Yep.
Okay, this 25 here, Danny. This kid's playing. What's his name now?
25 for Michigan?
Yeah.
Curtis?
Yeah, he played a lot. Anyway, I like this. This is a nice stunt by Wink. Danny, I thought our defense played good enough to win. I mean, you give these guys 21 with all the turnovers, the fake punt, all the field position problems, and you give him 21. I thought this was a good stunt by Wink. 2nd and 4. That's good.
Barham earned his money there. Oh, hands in the face.
Well, that's Pierce putting his hands in the face. I think a lot of their game plan was to find number 12 for Michigan, wherever he was. So I think I don't know if they had him covering their best receiver or what they were doing, but it seemed like a lot of it we kept, where's 12 for Michigan's defense?
Well, it makes sense. If 2's out there, I'd go 12's way too.
Yeah. Yeah, so Wink is mixing it up. He's rushing 4, rushing 5, but different angle. Here's 6 up, 3rd and 14. What's he doing here? We got 6 guys right near the line of scrimmage. They've got tight end 3 trips up here. He ends up bringing a safety. Is that a safety or a linebacker? I mean, this is the stuff. How many are we bringing though, Danny? We're only bringing 4 guys. People want to yell, "Oh, you're blitzing. You're blitz." Does this count as a blitz? What is the definition of a blitz? 5 or more? I mean, we're showing 6 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 6, 7, all close, and we end up. Look, we drop all 3 of these guys on this side are dropping. And we're trying to get one of them free. I thought we should have did a better job dropping here. But anyway, I really like those kind of schemes. You're not overcommitting to the pass. You've got guys in coverage. I like this 4th and 1. We're not getting knocked out of there. That's why he can make that play. He can make this play. I mean, they're calling off his name, and he does a good job. I think they screwed up their blocking scheme. They don't block him. But we do a good job right here with these guys right here doing a good job. There's no movement there. We're winning the line of scrimmage, man. We're playing on their side. I mean, he's able to make that play because these guys are doing a good job in there. Who is that right there? Right here. Anyway, they're down in there. They're playing technique. That's a great job. 3rd and 7. Yeah, I don't know. It makes you sick. How many times you gonna let this happen, man? 2 hands, secure the ball. I mean, the kid's showing his athleticism. He's stepping up in the pocket. This is the stuff you want. This is what we were hoping for. A guy that can throw it, athletic enough to make these first downs on this kind of stuff, but secure the damn football. That's exactly what we were hoping from an athleticism standpoint. But not that. Now you're giving them juice. You're giving them hope. We're back on the field. Sudden change. So this kid does, 2 weeks in a row now. This stuff is coached. We coach it, but this kid does a great job. Look at him. Watch this kid over here. Just rip it down, man. That stuff is coached up, and you got to know it. You're carrying the football. I don't know how we're coaching this. You got to look at that mesh point. He's got to see. I think he's still a little banged up. He wants to read. You want to read that mesh point. Okay, you're reading the mesh point. He gives it to him. You got to squeeze. Squeeze, make the play. Come down here and make the play. He gave him the football, and he's hesitant. He's got to read that. Again, here's 25 and 92, Denny. We ain't seen much of these guys. They're in the game. They're getting guys ready. Ike did some decent things, this big fella right here. He doesn't get knocked out of there, I'll tell you that. He does not get knocked off the ball. There's number 12 again. So what's Wink calling here? What's it down in distance? 3rd and 6. You got 0 and 1. I understand why Wink moves guys around, in different positions. He's got Barham, a linebacker here, playing out here on the edge. He's done a lot of that. And he has his reasons why, because if he's in coverage, now you've got a guy over the tight end. So sometimes people have to understand why you move guys around. I understand why he moves them around. But it's a big play. Good job by keeping contained, getting them to step up. It's good job by him to keep the ball inside the defense, make the quarterback step up. I mean, he's right here. He makes them step up in the pocket. And then that's where all the big ugly dudes are. And then Stewart's right there to make the play. I mean, we're down 6-0, and we ain't done nothing on offense. Turn it over, and you know. I don't understand why this play keeps working, Denny, but I know if I was coaching against Michigan, but we still rip people. We are still ripping people. We run the ball away from when Mullings and Donovan are in the game. We are 100% run to the side where Mullings is. But these guys on defense over here, they don't see it. I don't understand it. We're still having success with it. I think it's a predictable formation, but people aren't defending it. So we do a good job. We block it, and we fumble the football. Denny, I got down here. I'm keeping it real, man. I'd place Hall in there a little bit for this guy right here. That's just me. I'd rotate him in there with this guy. Get him ready, man.
That guy was at the press conference today.
Yeah. Both these backs are gone. Okay. They're both graduating. Okay. So I would start getting Hall ready. And then whoever my fourth guy is, I start getting them reps. I'm not looking at this. He fumbled against this team, and he fumbled at Washington.
USC.
Or USC in a huge moment there. So I'm just that's just me. If you're going to play these other guys, you're playing Gentry, you're playing this dude, you're playing these guys, getting ready for the future. And Danny, this is just hard. I'm just telling you, you play defense with this, it's hard. It's constant sudden change. Tuttle fumbled it. And here we go again. Now we're back on the field on defense. It's hard. It's real tough. The crowd's going nuts, and you got to go back on the field. So that's just me, man. I'd be working in Hall, and then whoever the hell our fourth. Do you have any idea who our fourth running back is?
Yeah, probably Jordan Marshall, but he was hurt. I don't know, Scar, if you do that, what you're suggesting that they do, are you also not sending a message that to guys that you got 4 guys that are all projected to be first-round picks? Aren't you sending a message to those guys like, hey, why don't you guys just go ahead and get ready for the draft?
He's not playing very well, man. He fumbles the football, man. You can't fumble the football, Denny. I don't know. I don't understand the guy here. I mean, you got to contain the quarterback, okay? Find the ball.
Yeah, well, the quarterback's fumbling every game. Everybody's fumbling. Everybody's throwing picks. So it's not like Dono's the only one.
I guess, Denny, I guess you make a good point. You could make the same argument for put that freshman quarterback in there. Again, I think Moore's playing a little banged up. He's, there's the mesh point, and then now he goes inside, and the quarterback goes outside. I don't know how we're coaching that. Just stay outside of it. This guy here, I got him circled. What's he doing? Well, he's got to read that mesh point too. So that's how they change it. They make this guy read the mesh point, the tackle now, but that's just part of the scheme. Anyway, they read it. Their quarterback does a good job. Again, here, these guys getting reps, a lot of reps. Pierce and Ike. Quarterback under center. I've got Hausman circled. I thought Hausman. I mean, this is about as good a coverage as you're going to get. Danny, we're on the goal line. I mean, we're on the 2-yard line. You've got to really, really be thinking run. And and Hausman knows he has him, but he's got to feel run at the same time. And this is really hard to even be in a position, to defend this. The quarterback makes a great throw. But I'm not. If that's my player, I'm not yelling at him. To be in that position to make him make a perfect throw. The kid from Illinois made a great throw. So
yeah, I'm with you.
Here's 2nd and 2. This is a great drive. We're doing a lot of this. You're seeing a lot of this in college football. Having a receiver come back to be the kick-out guy. You just, because he can get there fast. You try to pull a tackle, they can't get there as fast. We get good down blocks here. We keep playing this. So you got a receiver out there kicking out. That's a well-designed play. And we get good movement. And I give it to Loveland, man. He is blocking. He is blocking. Is 17 hurt, Klein?
Yeah, he got hurt in this game.
Oh, because he wasn't playing much at all.
Yeah, he got hurt.
All right, here's 2nd and 5. I think they're using Donovan as a decoy a little bit, but this play is executed. Again, we got Loveland in there leading through because, I was always down on him as a blocker, but he's doing a good, he'll block. They got him at the point of attack.
He's a great
2nd and 5. This play is ripped in there, man. It doesn't look, it's not a huge gain, but it's 5 yards. It's a first down. I like it, man. It's blocking, kick out, backs running hard, first down. A lot of people running this play. Saban was talking about this play on ESPN Saturday morning. I listened to him. I like it. For a 1st and 10, this is a QB-friendly drive. Pull the guard, make the linebacker feel it. So this is a false pull, or he's blocking this side of the line of scrimmage. And but this kid is reading this. And they also asked him to come out in coverage, but it's tough because now we're bringing our tight end across. And he's got to try to get there. It's real tough to do for the way Illinois is defending that. But this is quarterback-friendly stuff. It was good scheme. We got the linebacker going with the guard. Again, a lot of people are running that play. But that's what coaches do. They copy each other, man. You see something good that somebody did against you, you're going to try to put it in. And I like this, Denny. We're throwing from run formations. This is what we did the last 3 years. You got your double tight end formation. You got all these big dudes. They got 6 guys at the line of scrimmage and 3 dudes here. This is a run formation, 1st and 10. And what do? We're throwing it back away from everything. Nice, just a little tight end release. Pick up 7, 8 yards, 9 yards. Good stuff. Throw from run formations. The offensive line here. What's it down in distance? 2nd and 2. Look at the movement, man. We're getting movement here. Danny, this is, remember that, I told you when I looked at the Washington game, I would always say that, if we win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, if we're moving dudes, and they're not moving us, then we should win the game. So it just hasn't played out for us because we are moving these guys. Look at these guys. We're moving guys, man. Easy first down. Slamming them out of there.
Yeah, they look great on this drive. They are mixing it up, pass, run.
Yeah, we were moving them all game, though. Hey, look at all these new guys in here. Here's 80. Is that kid a true freshman? Or he's a sophomore. Is it
80 is a true freshman.
71 is in there now. You got 3 tackles in the game. So this formation, 4th and goal, we brought 3 tackles in the game, and he's got 2 tight ends in the game, and Bredesen and Mullings in the game. And this is a great job by Bredesen, man. Great job by Mullings, but our line, it's tough. These guys are submarining down there. They're dive bombing, man. They're taking out ankles. They're not looking at kneecaps, Danny. They're down there at ankles, trying to make a pile. That's how you coach this.
Low man wins.
Yeah, you're just trying to. These guys are just, scraping their chest against the ground, and trying to get underneath to make a pile here. That's what the defense is thinking. And Bredesen leads, just throws his helmet face right into both these linebackers, and Mullings gets he needs that launch pad. He needs a place to launch, and we gave him that. And Bredesen takes out the linebackers. So that's a great job by both those guys. This kid, good run pass. What do I mean here? Yeah, this quarterback can run and pass, and it's tough to defend. You got an offense that can run and pass. This quarterback is good. We haven't faced too many stiffs at quarterback. Denny? They're all accurate kids.
Well,
you got to know the stunt, and this ends up being a big play. I think that is Kenny there. This is the stuff you got to do against Michigan State. You talk about gap integrity. Okay, you see that right there? So I don't know how I would imagine the way they're I know how I would coach it. Okay, what I would coach, this is a stunt. So what are we doing? We're bringing 5, and the other guy late. So we're bringing 5 guys. Okay. So Kenny is going to slant and nose up this center. See, if I was coaching this thing, I'd have him nose up this guy so he can come off this way or come off this way if the quarterback steps up. But he takes the side to the left, and where's the quarterback go? You know what I mean? See where he's going? This is the stuff we got to do a great job with the Michigan State kid. And it's going to hurt your pass rush with some of the big guys, but if he can come off and make that play. I got a question about our linebacker here. Down in distance is 3rd and 1.
Third and 1.
Okay. Now here's my question. Well, I don't understand why we're going inside here. I don't understand why this guy's going inside. It's 3rd and 1. I mean, if you're going to do that, you better have your linebacker firing here or this guy firing here real fast. I don't understand this. He goes inside. See how he's inside there? The tackle pins him, and now you got no contain. I don't understand that. Just point it out. Page does a great job here.
Yeah, he did.
I think it was Page. Did they say it was Page that blocked it?
I think so. Let me look at my play sheet if I have it.
Because there's another guy that gets his hand up, but I thought it was Page. Anyway.
I thought so too.
It's that's a big play, special teams. So here we go. I mean, we're down 13-7. Step up. 3rd and 7. That's step up in the pocket. Read this. Feel it. I said this many times, Danny. There's some things that quarterback and linebacker, you just got to have a sense for this. Something you can't teach. We got so spoiled with JJ. He stepped up in the pocket. And I said this Saturday night. I don't understand. The ball's on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, you didn't like this one.
I don't. This is a head coaching decision. You tell your special team coach, what you want. Do you want to try to return, block, or do you want your defense on the field? Whatever it is you're going to do. But this is because you're not going to get much of a return, and they blocked this thing perfectly. I don't know who's what this guy's responsibility is. He probably should have made the play. Who's reading this thing? But they just block it. It's just simple power play. They block down. And they execute it, man.
You think they just had that look and they were like, "We got it."
This is coaching. They saw. They perhaps were in this formation. Illinois was probably in this formation in previous games, and they saw how Michigan adjusted to this formation. So their special team coach said, "Look, I think there's something here." And they worked on it. So the deal was, okay, we're going to run this. We get near the 50-yard line because if they stop it, field position is still, they still got to give their defense a chance. That's why they run these things on the 50. That's why you don't mess around here. I'd have my defense. I'd have a real safe defense there. I'm not interested in getting a return on the 50. He's going to put it on the 5-yard line anyway. So anyway, this stuff was scouted. They had a plan based on what they thought how Michigan was going to line up. They out-coached us here. That's coaching. That's scheme. That's scouting.
Dan Campbell likes to run him from his own 20 or 30. Crazy.
Well, he's been successful. In Kansas City, he was successful last year. Remember that?
He ran a couple last year.
I know. I get it, Denny. I understand what his thinking is. I do. Eyes on ball. You gotta. This is why this is kind of tricky because you're looking at the ball and you see it, and as soon as you see the ball move, you're thinking punt return mode. You don't know where it's being snapped. So I kind of understand why these guys are looking to engage and not thinking, that I should play run defense here because he doesn't really know where the ball, because he's feeling this. He saw the ball move. He doesn't know where it's been snapped because once the ball's moved, you're thinking punt return mode. And, if he could have nosed this kid up instead of taking a side, we might have had a chance, but it's well executed.
Yeah.
3rd and 1, I've got Ike circled. We're running a stunt here, and he doesn't get to his gap. He's got to get to his gap. This is your gap. You got to get there. He doesn't get there. Ike will play good at the point of attack. He's got to do a better job moving on the stunts, slanting. He's got to beat this guy into this gap. He doesn't get there. That's where, and then the linebacker, I don't know what he's reading, but this is what people do to you, Denny. We don't, me and Jerry are always talking about guard keys and false pulls, and what is the linebacker key in? Watch him. Why is he's confused? Well, I don't want to say he's confused, but the offensive scheme and what the coaches had him reading creates confusion. He steps to his right, and now he's going back to the left. He's seeing this guy or something instead of going fill that hole. You see him?
Yeah, he got faked out.
Well, it's again, you don't want to blame the kid. The coaches have to ask themselves, what did you have him keying? So if he's keying, the, this guy, maybe that's what they had him key. And he sees him stepping that way. That's why he's stepping that way. So a part of that is on our defensive coaches. And it's part of, why is that happening? That's what good offenses do, Danny. They put your linebackers in conflict with their keys. You follow me?
Yeah, I follow you. It's a nice
tool. He's a good player. Bielema has brought some good players in. He brought transfers in, but this kid's good. This number 4. It's a big kid. He's a good athlete, man. Do we got a kid as good as that? He's a big athletic kid.
Yeah, their backup quarterback looks better than anything that we've got too. Just one pass.
Well, here's number 80, getting them work. So here's we're down 14, 1st and 10. This is a nice pass by Tuttle. Nice little scheme there. It's kind of like a wheel route. Yeah, it's the same, it's the same concept as a wheel. It's either the back out of the backfield or tight end. He's lined up as a H-back there, and they just wheel him out and they get him confused. But I wonder, that's a good scheme. I wonder if they had Loveland trying to get in the way of that. This is something new. We haven't seen this play yet, Denny. So, give these coaches some credit. It's using the tight end on a counter. Every quarterback, they've got Mullings going away. Everything looks like it's going to the defense's right. We got motion that way. The quarterback looks that way. The defense is seeing all that. They're going this way, but we got guards, and we run this play, so these guys are used to blocking like this. The only difference is we got a tight end now getting the ball. So he does a good job reading it. He takes it outside. It wasn't really supposed to go in there. But 68, Preeb is playing good football, and Crippen's doing a good job. This is, these guys are blocking in there, man. I just wish they had a little more help. It's a good job by Preeb, not letting that guy fall off to make that play. This is a mistake. Illinois' defense hadn't misaligned very much, but they are totally misaligned here. We will kill this. But this is what you do, Denny. Look at this formation. You got 3 guys over here. Is that guard, tackle? Is that a tight end here? Whatever. 3 guys here, and then 3 guys out here. So they're not lined up right. We got down blocks. We got easy angles. I mean, we can kill them in this formation. So they are not lined up right. This is a gift. This is scheme. This is problems. This is what you want to do. We just hammer them in there. And we got a quarterback keep off of that. This is the stuff we got to have. You can't just manhandle guys. You got to fool them too. And I like this. We're running away from. Oh, it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. We're running away from 7 instead of 20. Now it's 44. Right, Danny? Anytime these 2 backs are in the backfield, 7 and 20 or 7 and 44, I guarantee you they're going to run this way. Let's see what the play is. Run that way, but we still get yards, man.
They needed a touchdown in this drive.
Yeah, Donovan bounces it outside. Yeah, this was discouraging, man. We get a good drive. Danny, I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. 3rd and goal. I mean, we're just leaning, man. This guy's leaning. I think these guys are leaning. Yeah. It looks like pass. It looks like pass all day long. I mean, I know it's 3rd and 6. But this play was defended. It was just they had everybody on everybody. And I just think, okay, 3rd and 6, down 14, we could run the ball twice here. Why aren't they even honoring run? They're not honoring run at all. I think we got tells here. Everything's covered. Yeah, I don't always look at this as something we did. I mean, Danny, they got tall guys. They can block kicks. There's not a lot you can do about some of that stuff.
Well, it wasn't a very good snap or hold. So, I mean, I guess you can make a case that it was an all right hold. I don't think Danielson liked the hold, but it wasn't a good snap. I mean, it skipped that back there. Yeah. So.
This is look what a difference here. Indiana 7-0. This is one guy. One guy makes a difference, Benny. I keep beating up that. I know it, but I just be honest. I admire great leadership when I see a guy take over a BS program and win. Ripping them out of that formation, Danny. Same thing, man. We trap a 5 technique here. I like this. This is kind of a power scheme, but this is I'd like to see trap. We haven't done a lot of trap. Quick hit and trap. Those are good plays, man. That's old school. You don't see a ton of it anymore. Where a 5 technique, a 3 technique has to play a trap. Danny, a trap is normally a guard pulling, and we don't block this guy. We're going to trap him. These other guys are blocking out, or linebackers, and we just get a nice kick out by Gio. That's easy money, man. And trap, when you can run trap, it has a lot of impact on other plays. What's the down and distance? 1st and 10. I mean, we're starting to get the thing going. I'm looking at this. Roll out, man. Look at this. Feel the pressure, man. You're an athlete. This guy's getting blocked. He's going inside of our tight end. I mean, we got him pinned in. We got him pinned in here. He's got to feel this. We could be outside of this. We could be out here running. And then who knows what can happen. Now we're in. I don't know, man. Good protection here.
Yeah, I didn't think they were
These
going
to. These guys weren't getting all over our quarterback. I think our line. I think these guys are playing pretty good football. Good protection, picking up a stunt. Wait for it to develop. We bring the receiver all the way from the backside. Morgan. This is a tough stunt to block. It takes a long time, and it's hard. And we don't block it. It's difficult. Couple plays left. Tight end. 4th and 18. Good job blocking by Mullings. Just hammering that linebacker. Nice throw. Back shoulder. It's possible. He's got to secure the ball, man. I didn't even throw his interception on here. I didn't even want to look at it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, here's 6 up, Denny. 3rd and 13. Again, we're not always bringing 6, but this time of the game, you got to try to do something. We're dropping 2, just to create conflict. Only rushing 4, or are we rushing 5? No, we're bringing 5. We're bringing a safety corner off the edge. So we got 6 up, and we end up bringing him, but we get pressure. Now, Denny, people ask, this guy's, I don't know who's getting the sack, but did he really beat a guy, or is it the scheme? You know what I mean? Did we get the pressure in the sack because of the scheme? Mason Graham has an inside go, but there's a lot of other dudes over there that were a part of that, made the quarterback step up because of the scheme. This kid was a good player. Had a hard time blocking him. Percy had a pretty good game. Other than this is not one of his good plays. Danny, I remember running off the field here after the game. It was a madhouse, and I'm seeing this. I'm getting flashbacks. But my brother played in Illinois, and we're talking all week, talking after the game, and. He said this, one thing about Illinois, they don't have the greatest players, but they don't beat themselves. You know what I mean? Not a lot of turnovers, not a lot of dumb stuff. They don't beat themselves. So, that's really what you want from your team. If you ain't got the best players, don't turn the ball over, don't miss a line on defense, don't have poor execution on offense, and that I think Bill was a good coach, man. He's a good coach. He doesn't have the best players. That guy starts getting players. Look out! And you start winning like that. And we don't want to have to recruit against him in Chicago. But let's get ready for the Spartans, man.
I'm ready, and we'll see you down, Scar. We'll arrange it. You can come on down and ask Sherrone those questions next week. You stand right next to me.
Anyway, keep the faith, baby. Go blue.
There he is, JIm Scarcelli. Go ahead and smash that like button, and we'll talk with you. We'll have coverage all week long here on the Maize and Blue Review, talking about Michigan and Michigan State.